Hello?
Hi, sorry for the delay. Actually, there's a small problem.
It's all
Yeah,
right. It's all right. No problem with that.
yeah,
So, all right. Let's welcome everyone. Welcome everyone. Welcome Souradip.
yeah.
Thank you for coming to our Tech Talks.
Sure.
So, if anyone missed the last episodes, you guys can check out our YouTube and can start with this episode. So, Souradip, can you
Yeah,
tell us a little bit about yourself and what are you gonna talk up to us about?
yeah. Surely. Just to give a brief introduction about myself, I am Shorodip, as you know right now. I am currently working as a data scientist at Walmart Labs, that is one of the largest retail in the world. Before joining Walmart Labs, I did my master's in applied statistics and machine learning from Indian Statistical Institute, which is again one of the very premier and one of the best institutes for statistics and machine learning and this kind of applied stats, pure stats, theoretical stats, mathematics. And I did my master's from ISI, which is like it is shortly known as ISI, Indian Statistical Institute. And before that, so just I'm going in reverse, so sorry for that, but before doing my master's from ISI, I did my engineering. So I did my engineering from in electronics, like in electronics and instrumentation from Jadavpur University, which is again one of the premier schools in Calcutta, so in India, in Calcutta. And then I worked for 2 years in an oil and gas consultancy sector, which is Foster Wheeler, based out of Houston, but the subsequent office was also at Calcutta. So there I learned a lot of things related to my engineering. So that was like on control theory, statistics, somehow statistics, mathematics, all the related thing. And then I went on to do my master's in applied stats from ISI, and then landed up in Walmart Labs. So this is how it started and how I came to this point of where I'm working in my field of interest, which is data science. I think which is the field of interest of many of many of the world now. But yeah,
Yes.
that is how I came here, and this is how my path was. Yeah.
All right, that sounds interesting. By the way, I forgot to ask. Is it okay if we record this call?
Yes, yes, it's fine.
All right. Thank you. Thank you. So yeah. So statistic, statistical machine learning. Can you tell us more about that and how did you get yourself into those topics?
Yes. So what happens is like just to begin with, during when I was doing my schooling, so I had statistics as an additional subject in my board. So that was like you have to take one additional apart from the compulsory subject. So the statistics was my additional subject, and from that time only there was a high an affinity towards mathematics and statistics, which actually helped me in helped me in gaining a lot of insights. Now, while doing a lot of works, for example, even in during my engineering, I understood that in the fundamental, or when you go to a depth of a subject, there is, and if the subject is somewhat quantitative, you have to understand a lot of mathematics and let's say statistics about information like in that way. So I understood that is important, and that's why I chose to go into the path of learning it properly academically, so that I know it from the basics also, that how things are, how like how statistics works and how it is affecting like real life scenarios and what are the real life use cases. Because nowadays if you see that a lot of problem, be it computer vision, be it natural language processing, or be it a structured data, a lot of problems are being solved using AI, ML, and stats and maths, to be very frank. Now the thing came into my mind when I was doing my work at Amic Foster Wheeler, which is my first company. So when I was doing there, I felt and I understood, and when I was going through some papers, I saw that many of the works that we are doing are actually that actually can be very easily solved using data. So when we have data about let's say a process, so at that time you don't need to explore everything because you have past data, and we should make use of that past information. So there's a thing called Bayesian statistics in our statistics. I think whoever knows that it's a very powerful thing, Bayesian. So in Bayesian, there is a very interesting concept of prior information. So if we have a prior, then we should definitely use it. So if we have past information, we should definitely use it, is what the point was. So I understood that that a lot of research is going on in different fields, but there are certain things common. So every field, majority of every fields are using data, are using past data to doing their mathematical modeling. So from there I landed to ISI, and I landed to to learn the basics of mathematics, basics of statistics, which can help me in doing problem solving. So basically, problem solving was the target that I wanted to solve, and what I thought that the tool, or tool won't be a right thing to say, but the methodology or a platform will be kind of statistics and machine learning, which will give help me in solving those real life problems and benefiting everyone, and also benefiting to the field, contributing to the field of research. That is the one of my main interest and main area. So from there, actually, this thing of statistical machine learning came. Then I actually, while doing my masters from ISI only, I understood that there are a lot of problems that are being now currently being handled by statistics, some of which can be in the medical, for example, in a biomedical domain. So let's say if we take the current situation, that is the pandemic that is going on due to COVID-19. So a lot of research. So a lot of research is actually going on in the field of natural language processing and and statistics to understand that how to retrieve. Let's say that if the biomedical researchers are doing very fast research right now, a lot of fast research are needed at this point of time. So how can, so now when a biomedical researcher, let's say, start searching a paper, it takes millions of times to, let's say, come to the particular conclusive paper. So then what happens is, in this particular scenario, AI comes into play. So they machine learning helps in actually retrieving the most relevant papers and making it very easy for that person to search, so that he or she can consider her, their relevant research. So these are like some of the very critical use cases. For example, cancer research. Then you take any problem statement, like everywhere, even problem statements like astrology, everywhere, forecasting, stocks, tumor detection, corona, like in case of corona and COVID-19, definitely this is coming to play. And in every field, there is a huge application of this, and that actually brought me to this particular domain. Yeah.
All right. You gave a lot of interesting points actually. So um, I think from our audience, there's a lot of young students and
Hmm.
still learning about a lot of things. So like, what tips would you give these people to get to where you are right now?
So first of all, I think that I am also at a learning phase. So I am also learning. I have just done my masters, and down the line, I want to enhance my education. And someday, maybe someday of my life, I will do also a PhD. But this is like a early stage of my career. So I won't say that. I can't tell that what exactly they should do to be at my position, but I can definitely say that what they should do to be very successful in their own fields and in their own positions. So they don't really need to be like me, because they can be much better than me. So that is what the thing is. But yeah, so just to come back to the point, I think it's a very interesting question that you asked, that how to frame, because many people are in different fields. How to they should frame their career so that they can actually work in this area. So I feel that the main part or the main component of this particular field is actually research and deep interest in mathematics and computational science. So I feel that these two things, like mathematics, statistics, and computational science, actually forms the major platform of AI and ML. So if somebody is, let's say, is working in electrical engineering, so you won't believe that many of my friends who were working in electrical engineering, then they did their PhDs abroad, but then now they're working in different works related to AI. Because as you do research, as you go higher down your study path, you will see that a lot of data driven decisions you have to make. And then how you can use your domain knowledge and also some stats and maths information to combine them and solve this problem in a very efficient way, is, I feel, that the crux to the solution. So what happens is, to be very frank, to understand, like from to learn the basic things, I would say that the first thing that one should learn and one should know is mathematics. So that is the basic things one should learn. And in mathematics also, so I will just so probably, is it possible for you to share, if I share you a link, can you open that and share the screen, or is that possible?
Uh,
Or
yes.
should I share the screen if it is possible?
Yeah, I think you can go share a screen.
Yeah, because it will be easier for me to explain them because I have a blog.
Mhm.
Just tell me
So I
that if it is visible or not. Is it visible?
yes.
Yeah. So this is
Yes, I can
actually,
see. We can see it.
yeah, so this is actually a blog of resources to start your journey in data science. This is one of my friend Rajesh Bhatt. Actually, we are colleagues, so we work very closely. And there is my GitHub link where I have given very few, because I know if I bombard this GitHub link with a number of links, nobody will see because it is very confusing anyways. So there are very limited links which will tell you how to start off your career and what are the things that you should do. So just to come to the point, the first thing that we should always do is mathematics. Okay. Now in mathematics, there are a few areas that we should focus on more for AI and ML. So those areas are mainly calculus, probability, and geometry. So these are the three things that I feel, because there are a lot of thousand other things, but yeah, in mathematics I feel that probability theory or combinatorics, and then geometry, understanding of linear algebra, and then probably and also calculus, vector calculus. These are the three things that one should be very comfortable with, so that they can really like work in this field and effortlessly. They don't have to worry about anything. So there are very good resources actually. So I think it is important to mention the resources. So there's a resource called Three Blue, One Brown. So I think many of you have already seen their videos. Like, it's amazing. So the way they explain, it's like even let's say a 9, 10 year old person, if they listen to it very carefully, can understand linear algebra. So this is excellent videos. Then there are sets by Khan Academy. We all know. Then there is a brilliant set actually by the Imperial College of London, which comprises of three courses: multivariate calculus, linear algebra, and some way of matrix decomposition. So these are like the main primary things, as I have said, that for understanding machine learning. And then there is a Coursera course also. So to start off, to begin to like the concepts of mathematics, and for mathematics, these are the main things that you should focus on. Now, don't go for, let's say, if you are not from a mathematical field, don't go for a course which is very in depth and you will be lost in like a middle of ocean. So I think you should go for a course which actually starts off from intuition. So try to build your intuition. Once that is built, it will be much easier. So I feel that Three Blue, One Brown and Khan Academy are the two best resources to start off with. And then probably this course from Imperial College of London. So these are the three things that I will recommend. Then I feel that coding. so for for Python, so there are a lot of interest. So just to mention that in majority of the machine learning related work, the codings are done through Python. So majority of the people now implement through Python, and that is like many. So in R is also there, but Python also is one of the main things that people nowadays do. To be very frank, so that is one thing that you should definitely learn, and one should definitely see. And then probably you can get some feel of R, then some understanding of, and oh, okay, Excel is also very important, because in Excel you should open, if the data is not huge, you can open the data in Excel and just see how it works. So Excel is important. Then there is SAS, then there is MATLAB, Octave, and a thousand other softwares, SPSS. Another thing is, I'm just forgetting the name, Minitab. So these are like a lot of things, but I feel that primarily concentrate on Python and R. And for Python, you'll get a lot of courses in Udacity. There is a lot of good courses by the Georgia Institute where you will get Python for beginners, Python for ML. So just go to those links. There are some of the links provided here also. Just go through this blog and my GitHub link, and you will, in this one, and you'll get the interesting ideas and things. So just to start off the basics, that is one thing. So these are the foundational blocks, and then you start off with ML. And for ML, like, there's no other course other than Andrew Young's, right? Andrew NG, people know him as. So Andrew NG is machine learning and deep learning courses. So machine learning courses was one of the, I think, the premier courses for Coursera, and based on which many people actually started on their PhD based on this course. So you can understand how valuable this course is. So yes, to be frank, this is the main things, like machine learning course from NUNG, deeplearning.ai, and there are some advanced things. Maybe I'll like again with time I'll tell what are the things. Yeah. So these are the main things to concentrate on, to like to begin with. To be very frank, to begin with, these are the main things that one should concentrate on for that. Yeah.
Mm. All right. I like how you talked about how important mathematics is for data scientists, because I
Yes.
think a lot of people when they hear the word data scientist, they're like, that sounds cool. I want to be like that, and then they forget that mathematics is also important for this kind of
Yes,
career.
yes, absolutely, absolutely. Actually, you are very right, because I
All
think
right.
if you, I think you have also seen a lot of trolls that are coming, that mathematics is being ignored, but there is a lot of. But I feel that this is true, that mathematics is very important, but one should not never be demotivated by the fact that they are not very equipped with mathematics, because everything's like all the things can be learned, and it is not possible for everyone to know everything. So like you can start off with one thing. Let's say if you are very strong computationally, there's no worry. You start off with computationally and try to enhance the mathematical side of it slowly. But so there are a lot of open source contributions now. So you just try to let's say see their GitHubs, work on them, legally copy or fork their work, and then you present them to different forums and to different scenarios, different medium. There is Medium blog, there is WANDB, wits and biases. So there are a lot of forums where you can actually showcase your work by writing small articles, writing small blogs, and then you try to understand, read papers, read good books, and I think you will be good. So there is no one can who can stop you. Yeah.
Yeah. I really like those tips. I will try to make sure that keep those tips in mind when I try to learn different things.
And also one more thing I would like to point out, like sorry for interrupting, that there are a lot of open source contributors that are really there, who are really wanting to help, willing to help people who are like willing to learn. So like for example, I'll say that there's a concept of Google Developer Experts in Machine Learning. So GD is ML. So they are like a team. They are a team which Google helps to, like basically to help these people. So Google serve as a platform to help these people to spread knowledge, to spread open source knowledge, so that everybody can benefit out of it. So you see the GD blog. So I myself am a GD in ML. So if you see my blogs, if you see my articles, my LinkedIn posts, so there will be a lot of information that I'm spreading as an open source contribution, and that indicates that we are willing to give knowledge. And even I have been contributed, and I'm still being like influenced and being learning from the open source contribution by some professors and by some PhD students and all. So it's a mutual process, and I feel this will help the community, and I really want that this AIML community to grow and to be much and work together. Yeah.
All right. Sounds good. I think we got some questions here from the audience. Let's see.
Sure.
Let's see from Benedict. Have you taken any online courses for machine learning? Could you recommend us anything?
Yes. So I have, to be frank, have not taken any online course as such, because I have like an academic master's, which was completely an extensive 2 years of journey that I have went through. But I'm definitely will be. I'm always looking into videos and lectures and let's say. But I have not taken as such that courses. But in this link that I just showed you right now, and I'll be sharing all the details with you. So in that link, you will get a very good courses. But yeah, to be just to mention 2 3 points, I will tell you. First of all, that machine learning courses by Andrew Ng, that is one of the like one of the brilliant courses that I have seen. So that actually builds your basic knowledge from zero to infinite. So it's like a very extensive course. It gives you a preliminary ideas also. So this is like mainly on the ML side. So for supervised, unsupervised classification, regression, all those things. So these are mainly for that. So this course, machine learning. So then there is a course called deeplearning.ai. So that deeplearning.ai is course by, again, their work only. Andrew Ng's company is deeplearning.ai. So they're also like, you will get very brilliant courses on deep learning. So from basics to deep learning, how to differentiate weight metric with respect to weight matrices, how the backpropagation happens, all those things you will get in detail in this course. And then there is let's say, now if you're looking into some financial course, let's say time series based course, there is a course, I just forgot that course name, but it is by Ben Lambert. So Ben Lambert's time series course is one of the most famous and brilliant courses. So that is like, I'll just type it here so that, like, if you guys don't follow it, like, you guys can easily follow it. Ben Lambert's time series. So if you are into time series and forecasting type of scenarios, to understand how statistical time series work, this Ben Lambert's time series course will be a great help to you. Then there are other courses. For example, there are Udacity's nano degree courses. Then there are online masters. So Georgia Tech's online masters is exceptionally famous. So again, if you go to my resource, this resource by Rajesh, so you'll see that there are three courses that has been mentioned. For example, Georgia Tech's OMCS program and Arizona State University's MCS program. So these are two very good courses. And then there are other things also, but this kind of online courses are actually very powerful. So you will get the understanding of majority, you will get the feel of a 2 years course, but you don't have to, let's say, go in that place and literally spend 2 years there. You can do your own work and and do your online masters parallel or as a full time. That's up to you. But these are some of the basic courses. Then there is a very good course on there are two very important books which I should definitely mention. One is ISLR and one is ESLR for machine learning. So these are the two books you should definitely most definitely follow. Yeah, I think for now this will be fine.
All right. Uh, got more questions here. One is from Hans. What aspect of machine learning piques your interest the most?
Okay. So this is a very good question actually. Thanks for the question first of all. So the aspect, so I'll say that I like majority of all the aspects of machine learning. Okay. So now it's a very vague answer. I know I would have been angry if somebody would have said like this, but now like to explain why. So see, so whenever, so many people tell me that you should focus on one thing rather than focusing on five things, then you'll get to learn. But my question to them and my question to them is that when we do a course, let's say when we do schooling or when we do a college, we have 15 subjects, 10 subjects, right? And we study them equally well, everything, so that we can get good marks or so that we can learn. So at that time we are not, it's not hampering us from going into depth in any of the subjects, right? We can, our brain is functioned is it's designed in such a way that the more we give pressure the more it will help you in understanding concepts. So there is no specific parts, but yes, I will definitely tell you that I have an inclination towards understanding the mathematical reasoning behind ML models. So in for example, if it is an SVM, support vector machine, so how the optimization works, what is a Lagrange multiplier, how it solves the problem, what is a dual of a problem, what is a simplex, what is a primal of a problem. These are the things that interest me because I like to go into depth in each and everything that I learn. So I feel the mathematical aspects of machine learning models interest me the most. But there are other things also. The applied side also is pretty much interesting to me. So I would definitely say that machine learning is
Hello. Hello. I think we lost Souradip for a moment. Let's wait for a while. Maybe some connection problems and all. We all experience that, don't we? So yeah, let's wait for a while. Hello, 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 hello.
I think
All right.
there was some net connectivity or some issue with that. Yeah, we rejoined.
All right. It's okay. It's okay. So let's go back to what you said.
Yeah. So that mathematical aspect interests me the most, and other than the geometrical, the intuitive side. So for example, if you visualize things, so whenever we are walking into a model, let's say a linear regression, or even as simple as a linear regression or a logistic regression, though they are not simple, there is a lot of depth into that. But if you are working in those areas also, like you will see, if you can visualize it geometrically, things will be much more intuitive and explanatory to you. Those are the things that will interest you later. So try to always visualize whatever you are learning geometrically. That is one advice I would give. Yeah.
All right. All right. We got more questions coming out here.
Sure.
Um, have you participated in data science and machine learning hackathons?
Yes.
Uh,
So, so every journey starts off with some competition, some hackathons, and yeah, I have participated in a lot of competitions and hackathons, Kaggle, Analytics Vidya, Crowd Analytics, Haptic. So there are a lot of hackathons, and some are mentioned in this resource. Again, I will provide you the link in the chat itself so that you guys don't miss it by any chance. But this is the resource, and this is my GitHub. You can just, so in both of them, you will find that I have mentioned about competition. So Kaggle, I feel it's not just a competition website. It's much more than that. It's much more than that. It has so many useful materials, and the top, like let's say the grandmasters, the masters, the experts, and even top university students participate in them and they contribute. So you can understand that how valuable a forum is that. Like you can get a lot of open source ideas, open source contributions from there, and you can just check them, and that will be a learning of your own. So you know that in Kaggle now, the competitions that are going on, like all are, majority of them are based on state of the art models. So for example, the state of the art literature. So if you go through the papers, you will see that many of the papers have not only, like many times it happens that the authors have not given the code, but in Kaggle somebody has replicated that. So they have implemented, done the coding from the paper itself. So, and that is like very useful for us. Like when we are working in a firm, we can just refer to their code and modify and let's say fork them officially, giving them the relevant recognition. We should definitely do that. And this is how competitions can help you, because competitions not only help you in focusing on a particular problem, but it also give you a feel, like a look and feel of the actual true business scenario, how it happens, what happens when you go to a company. Because many of the college students like us, when we started off, we did not know how companies work, right? How the problem statements are. We are more linked to the theoretical perspectives. But then once we do some competitions, we get to know the real life business cases, and then we kind of frame our mind, polish ourselves to say. So these are the things that we do normally through competitions, and obviously there are prize monies and those things, but I feel those comes secondary, and these are the things that are the major things that you should focus on. That learning, you should never forget to learn. So for example, in Kaggle and in every analytics Vidya competitions or other competitions, you will see that there is, like, even in point 2 or 3 decimal places, the fight goes on. So who comes at 1, who comes at 2. But that is important to get precision. But another thing that is important, that because of that, you should not neglect your learning. You should keep on learning and try to read papers. I would say, always say, read more and more research papers, so that it is helpful for you to understand. And if you don't understand, just post it in Twitter, post it in LinkedIn, ask your this open source community guys, ask me. Whenever I have time, I'll try to answer and collaborate also. Yeah, sure.
all right. Uh, so do you have any uh, like tips in preparing for
Mm.
joining
Mm.
Kaggle or any competitions or hackathons?
Yeah, that is also another interesting question. So what happens is, whenever you are, let's say, when you are starting off with something, okay, so let's say coding, for example, you are doing Python for ML. No uh, tutorial or no theoretical understanding can help you if you are not hands on. So you have to go and start your work. So for that, you have to just go to the Kaggle website. Okay, I'll just show you so that it's easier for you. I'll share my screen. So you can see, right? The web, now,
Yes, we can see. We can see.
yes, now you go to Kaggle. Okay, let me show you here only. So you go to the home page. Okay, so now you with home page, you will see. So you have to first create an account. You create Once you create an account, you'll go to the home page and you'll see welcome something by your name. It will say. Now what you do is you go to the notebook. Okay, you go to the notebook, create a new notebook. Okay, now the best part is you have so many things. You have Python and you have R, so you can create a notebook on anything. Then once you do the notebook, if you see that the wonder is that you can link your Google account to this cloud services, and then you can directly access that. So that is another brilliant part of it. And another, the most fascinating part is, if you see this accelerator portion and you go to there, you will see GPU and TPU version 3. So both GPUs and TPUs they are providing. So you can understand the value, the help that they are doing, the open source community help that they are doing. So these GPUs and TPUs are exceptionally costly. So if you have a laptop, one should know, if you are into playing games, you know how costly GPUs are, and TPUs are even more costly. So now, if you once you create this account, I have not created it because there is a time limit to it. So per week there is a 30 hours time limit to it. But the brilliant part is they give two GPUs like that. One you can run here and one you can run in this commit version. So here just you run this code, whatever it is. Let's say you run, just show you a sample. You run this code. Let's say sum a equals to 3 and a plus b. You do something and you just start off with your coding. Now the question and there is another thing called collab. So again, if you go to collab, you will get something like this, and then you can actually start off with your own collab notebook also. So the collab is the Google cloud, it's hosted in Google cloud, and you can just so it's again it is also free. So this is like showing that it is does not exist. I'll show you in some time, but yeah, so this is also free. And the best part is that you understand the value that they're like, they have to spend money, right, on for giving this to free for to the open source, to the students, to the aspiring researchers, to people like us. So we should make use of this, right? We should try to use them, utilize them, and also spread the knowledge and the facilities that we are getting in the open source community, because that is how the community is built. But again, coming back to the specific question, how to, okay, on Kaggle, on any problem statement, when you get, first try to understand the problem. Okay, first try to see that what the problem is talking about. For that, you need to do visualizations. So I'll just write down some of the things. So visualizations. So visualizations, the first thing that you should do to a visualizations of the data that the input data that you have received, because you cannot know. So check for missing values. So check that how many values are missing, check for missing values. Then you see that some statistical analysis. So it's statistical plots and analysis on them. So you see that whether this is following normal distribution or not, or the bivariate data is following some. So let's say if there is a matrix plot, for example, if there are two continuous values. So how do you check the strength of association between them? By correlation. Now the problem is linear correlation just measures linear strength or the linear relation. Now go for non-linear measures. Then for two categorical values. So for example, if let's say, just take a name example, let's say a person is a smoker or non-smoker, and the person has cancer or not. So if you plot this, if you see that the person who is smoking and the person who has cancer, the number of count will be more in that bucket. So you have this kind of analysis, so that it helps in creating features and giving an insight of the data. So then you create features, do pre-processing. So you have to standardize and normalize the data. Like for example, one data might be in, let's say, kilometers, and another data might be in meters. So you cannot simply compare them. In certain models like decision trees have the capability to handle them, but certain models don't. So you have to bring them into one standard. So for neural networks, so many of you who are learning and will be interested in deep learning and neural network, in neural network is it very important to do the pre-processing and standardization. So then there is pre-processing, and then probably you create a model, test it, validate it, do statistical validation. And here again, so you see, right, each and every sector of this part that I have mentioned, statistics plays a so important role. So you validate it, and then finally you test your finally you predict or do inference. Inference is not a right term to use here, but machine learning, in machine learning community, it's a very huge term. So in statistical community, it's a different thing. But for inferencing, I mean, whenever a new data comes, you can use your model to do the predictions. So that is how you should see. Now, these two part, for example, creating features and understanding the problems, doing visualizations, these are the aspects that will help you in winning competitions, because understanding the data, it is most important. And if you understand the data, you can actually design and formulate your models. See, understand one thing, that there is no machine learning model who can do by their own. You have to feed in the right information. If you are filling in incomplete information, it cannot do. So yeah, so these are the main three things I have attached also with a star mark. But that is the thing you should always look into while participating in competitions. Yeah.
All right. Uh, hope everyone picked up something.
Yeah,
Like
at
hope
least.
that help. Yeah, hope that helps you prepare for our as you join in your competitions and all.
Yes.
So Hans has a question here. Can we connect with you on LinkedIn?
Yeah, why not? So I will just give my LinkedIn profile here. So you can definitely connect me. So just to mention that many a times what happens is I'm really busy with my work, and many a times I don't have time. So maybe it might take some delay to accept, but I generally accept all the requests that I get. And also, if you ping me, I'll be able to relate, like, and try to answer with the best of my knowledge. It might take some time, it might take a month also, but I generally get back to my messages and try to reply each and every one of them. So yes, sure, we can connect.
All right, sounds good. Um, all right, from the audience, if you guys have any more questions, feel free to chat it, or you guys can open your mic. You can speak with us.
Yes, sure.
All right.
And yeah, and we have just, so there are
Uh,
a couple of things I will just quickly point out. Yeah, one thing is on the there are lot of good blogs that are being written. Some are being written by me, and some are being written by my colleagues, and there are a lot of other researchers who actually collaborate a lot in this kind of forum. So one is Medium. So Medium is one of a very beautiful forum where you can write the most informative things, and I am on Medium, so you can follow me there also. And you just have to now go through this link I'm sharing. This will give you an overview of what are the blogs that I have written in Medium, and also I keep on writing it. So once you go through them, you'll have an understanding, and you can get back to me if you have some questions or comments on that. And then there is another thing called weights and biases. So uh, we have actually, I have just written a blog on weights and biases recently with one of my colleague Rajesh, whose blog I shared. So you can just go through that blog also. I am giving you the link, and just see the weights and biases other blogs, and you will understand that what is the quality and how good the work are going on in this field. Yeah.
all right. All right. Audience doesn't have any more questions. So, well, I have a question. So how is it like? How's your work in Walmart? What have you been working
Yeah.
on?
So currently, what I am working on is majorly related to NLP, and another aspect is vision, computer vision. So just to very give you very briefly, won't be can't say much details into it, but to give you very briefly, there are a lot of interesting problems in the domain of NLP, natural language processing, and optimization. So we are trying to work on various convex and non-convex optimization problems, where the loss function is not straightforward, the objective is not straightforward. We have constraints which make the path or the the loss function space very complicated to solve with simple algorithms. And another aspect is computer vision. Now, given the COVID scenario, has been a lot of emphasis on computer vision, especially in retail kind of scenario, because there is a lot of people go and come and all those things they're monitoring. So all those things needs to be actually taken care of. So we are also giving a lot of efforts in the vision space. So yeah, but there are other interesting aspects like generating caption, generating recommendations. So whenever we are in a retail or e-commerce environment, generating meaningful recommendations is very important. And so we are working on that domain also. So there are a lot of interesting things that we work on our daily lives. And yeah, and I got a question that is, how is a typical day in your life? So it's nothing special, Benedict. It's pretty simple how it works. It's like we start with the work, we do our office work, let's say on this field I mentioned. Then after completing that, the remaining time I try to spend on doing open source contribution and starting to write research papers and patents. So I have filed over 5 6 patents as a part of Walmart Labs. So those things, like it goes into those areas. And yeah, I stay completely engrossed in this field only. So that is what I love, and I try to spend my most of the time here. Yeah.
All right. Mm-hmm. Uh, so from the audience, I guess, or I see there's a question right there. Okay, Benedict wants you to describe a typical day in your life. All right.
Yeah,
Hello.
can you repeat your question, because I think there was some broken, like something broke actually.
Hmm.
Yeah,
All
I
right.
think I think what I was saying is
Uh,
pretty much that is how it works. Like in Walmart, or that is how my typical day works. Like mainly into data science, reading articles, reading papers. There are good videos, and then there are very good companies which are working into, for example, OpenCV, iMage Search. These are very good companies that works in the field of computer vision. Allen AI, then Stanford NLP. These are like organizations, and these are like teams which work in NLP domain. So there's a lot of good work happening all around, and I just try to read as much as possible and try to contribute. Yeah.
all right. If I guess the audience doesn't have any more questions. There, another one. Can you talk more? Tell us more about your experience being a Google developer expert, and yeah, how did you, get the certification for that?
Sorry. Can you just repeat? Because I think there is some connectivity issue that is going on. Maybe my side, or
All
okay.
right, it's
Let me
okay.
see.
Can you talk? Can you tell us more
Oh,
about your experience being a Google developer expert, and how did you
ye-
get there?
sure. So again, that was a unique journey of its own. So it was a different journey altogether. How the and it was really very interesting. So I will tell you how it happened. Actually, everything started off with this open source community contributions only. So as I have like many times focused and emphasized, majorly I have emphasized on the fact that that community contributions is actually one of the most important things to be also to be noticed. So I feel that this is one of the very important things that actually brings you in the notice of good people, of organizations, and that is very important at this point of time. And because if you have seen that we are going through a very crucial time, right? This is one of the most crucial time, the pandemic situation that we are going through. So it is very important that if we are, let's say, if the jobs are getting postponed, or if you are missing out on certain things, people should notice and they should feedback to us. So there is another approach. So I was approached by one of the members of the Google team. So there is actually, I will share a very good blog on how to be a Google GD, because this question I get often, how to be a GD. So but need for the Google developer expert position.
All right, let's wait for a while. Just wait. How you guys liking the talk so far? You guys learning a lot of things? Sharing us a lot of good tips and you know a lot of what he's saying. You guys can I'm pretty sure you guys can use your life and further advance your learnings in your careers. Gonna be pretty gonna be pretty good for you guys, and you guys can connect with him on LinkedIn. Right, glad everyone's having a good time. All right, let's wait for him. I think he's back. Hello.
Hey, am I
Hello.
audible now?
Yes, I can see you, I can hear you.
Yeah.
All
So
right.
just to mention that journey of a GD. So how he became a GD. Actually, it is a, just to be very spontaneous, it is a journey of its own. There are lot of actually important things to be that they see, that how many community contributions have you done, how is your profile, and how much you can help the other people. Because let's say, to be an expert, at least I don't know how much of an expert I am, but I feel that to be at least relevant to a position, you have to have some background knowledge. Now a lot of let's say faulty materials are like revolving around, because so to correct them, to give people the relevant sources, to give people the right source of information is very important. And that is one of the major thing that I would feel that they also see. They see that how, what is your capability of coding, how much you have contributed to this open source scenario, and how much, let's say, you have used TensorFlow, how much you have used the latest deep learning methodologies, and how much you're aware and equipped, and how much people know you. So this is a very interesting blog on how to start your like how do you become GD in machine learning. And I will just share you the link, maybe.
All right.
Yes, yeah, I'll share you a link, so you will get information on how it actually works and what are the nitty gritties of it. But yeah, I would say that you can just go and apply and start contributing from today itself. Yeah.
Mhm. All right. This looks good. If the audience have no more questions,
Yeah.
then I guess I can ask you a concluding question.
Yes.
So, all right. So, Suradip, what is it that you think that you still have to learn in order to to further advance your career?
Mhm. Yes. So on that line, actually, this is like one of the like very good question actually, to be frank, because many people think, or many people maybe feel that maybe people are posting materials, sharing materials means they know their knowledge is stagnated. If one has done masters, their knowledge is done. Now they don't need to study; they can just work. But I would say the way this field is growing, the way machine learning field is advancing every day, it is impossible to keep a track if you are not into like if you are not completely into that zone. So you have to be continuously learning, continuously reading papers, staying updated, code, see GitHub. So these are the things that you have to continuously do. And I think once you can do that, you will be staying connected, and then only you will know that how much knowledge you need to gain. Because recently I attended a conference which is like one of the largest conference in machine learning, which is ICML. So if you see ICML, it is the largest conference in machine learning. And I saw that the lectures that were given, the papers that are being shared in that conference, it is so beautiful, so amazing. And it actually motivates you to learn every day. And that's why I feel that I have to learn a lot of things. I am nowhere close to an expert or anything. I know that I have some mathematical concepts with which I can understand papers. And that's why I read as much as I can, and I try to contribute to the community. Yeah, that is all.
All right, thank you for that, Suradip. Uh, yeah, I guess that ends our episode for today. Thank you so much for giving us your time, coming here to talk with us, and share your knowledge. Help other people to you know improve on their careers as well. So thank you for that, and to the
Thank
audience,
you.
thank you
Thank
everyone for coming. And
thank you for inviting me, first
uh,
of all, and it has been great to talk to you and the audience. Thank you for that.
all right, thank you so much. All right,
Thank you.
for the audience,
Bye.
thank you. Uh, Goodbye, everyone. See, I hope to see everyone else on the next episodes that we'll have. Thank you, thank you. We appreciate everyone coming in.